Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the Zoom today is Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch. Mr. Mayor, how are you, sir?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Thanks for making time for us. Always good to have you on the program. And, this topic, I'm so glad we can, I don't want to say put it to rest here finally, but I think, now that it is underway, it's going to be something that gets on the back burner until some significant work happens. And that's Fifth Street. Fifth Street, the ground is broke. Things are moving, and we're underway with that. What's going on? Remind us the latest.
Yeah, couple decades in the making here. It started in, I think, 1998, the idea of the project. And the project will, increase that road by width. And we're going to take care of some drainage out there too. And it's taken a lot of work to get to this point. The cost of the project has gone up significantly since the beginning. Well over $8 million for the project now, but they're moving. Their equipment's mobilized. People are starting to ask questions, and all the stuff is coming together. So it's all goodness.
Yep. Unfortunately, it's one of those things. The cost has increased and the scope has gone down. But remind us what your plans are out there, sir.
Yeah, it really started as a 3-lane road, widening it out, walking bike path on the side. And it was really to give people a safe path into town from that area out there. A lot of the intent was also to increase the industrial corridor out there. The idea is you put a new road out there, it might be a nice place for additional commerce to happen, industry to take up business out there. But over the years, you're right, the cost has gone up. It's drug on for so long. We've reduced the scope. Still going to be a nice road. We're addressing a lot of drainage issues that are out there. It'll be 2 lanes wide, still be a place for a bike path and stuff if we want to come and do that later.
Mm-hmm.
But we had to do that to trim costs.
Sure.
You had to take it out. So
yeah. Well, and again, maybe the city will be in a place in a year or two. I shouldn't say a year or two, maybe 5 or 6 years, where it's like that's something that's feasible, and they can connect it to other parts of the town that may be going through a transition like that with some bike and walking paths and such.
Yeah, we'll keep looking for grant opportunities to do that. Funding it straight out of the capital improvements might give the treasurer a little grief, and he might clutch his chest a little bit. I'm thinking about spending more money, but yeah, we're always trying to lay out the next plan and do prep work for it. So
sure.
It'll be on our radar.
Yep, very good, very good. Anything else on that, Mr. Mayor? It's just exciting to have that project move along.
Yeah, I think the whole community is excited. A lot of people in the past that have worked on it are probably just as excited we are too. So everybody's got to be a little patient. It's about a 2-year project to get it done from beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll try to make it as painless as possible for those that are impacted.
Easy enough. Very good. Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch on the phone or on the Zoom with us here this afternoon. Mr. Mayor, let's dive into talk about springtime in Lincoln. It's a busy time. You mentioned to me off the air, you've got your annual electronic recycling event. What's going on? Tell me about this.
Yeah, this is something that we're really proud that we can offer the residents of not just Lincoln, but Logan County as well. So most people have old electronics laying around, whether it's a printer or a TV or something of that nature. And we do this at no cost to the residents of Lincoln. Wes Woodhull, our building and safety officer, has done a remarkable job of identifying someone that can take this stuff off our hands for our community. So we're going to do it. It's going to happen all week next week. We've tried to make the hours available for most people. Wednesday, it'll be late hours. But yeah, if you've got old stuff, electronics that you're trying to get rid of, aren't working, bring them out. We do not take microwaves. We will not take that type of stuff. And anything that is like broken into pieces, we will not take that for safety reasons. But other than that, bring it out. And if we do take it, we'll take it off your hands.
All right. Easy enough. Again, the when and where on that one, Mr. Mayor?
That one is April 20th through the 24th 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. most days, Wednesday open till 7, and that's at the Municipal Services Building at 313 Limit Street.
Do folks need to bring identification? Is there a limit on what they can, like how many electronics they can make or bring, or trips they can make? How about a few of those things?
Yeah, the flyer's out on the city Facebook page and website for reference, but 4 TVs is the maximum. It's not intended for loading up all of your friends' TVs and bringing in a large trailer and stuff like that. It's meant to be for the individual household. And so we ask that people be respectful of the fact that it's a free service, and the people that are out there wanting those things and TVs were all volunteers. I'll be out there myself a couple of days. Just be mindful of that, and I'm greatly appreciative that we're able to do it for the city and the county.
Sure. Mr. Mayor, on that note, is that something the city fronts the cost for? And is that, maybe for other municipalities out there potentially looking at something like this for their community, is that a pretty significant expense for the city? How would you assess that?
Yeah, believe it or not, you would think that it's really, really expensive. It's not. Don't quote me on this, but I think we've spent around $1,000 to provide this service. We found a really great company to work with. They're from up north. If anybody is interested for their community, they can certainly give our building and safety officer, Wes Woodhull, a call. His number's on the city webpage at lincolnil.gov. He'll be glad to connect you with that outfit.
Sure. Nice. So all of next week, and that's a free service, like you said. Very good. So check that out. In the you have to live in Lincoln, correct?
It's for the county as well.
The
we
county,
do
okay.
expand it out to the county.
Okay.
So bring your ID with you. It is a free service, and we live in a world where sometimes people try to do things they're not supposed to. We have had people from outside the county try to come in with large loads, and we've had to turn them away and stuff. Not that we don't want to take their stuff, but it is a service that's being paid for by the taxpayers of Lincoln, and we want to make sure they get that benefit.
Sure. Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch, my guest on the Zoom this morning as we chat with him. So what else is going on this spring, Mr. Mayor? Anything coming up you want to talk about?
Well, on that same note, we've got our citywide cleanup. This is part of our annual franchise agreement with our trash collection service. And that's when you can bring in your old lawn equipment and just those type of things that you're trying to do your spring cleaning. That's May 9th. And that'll be from 8 to 4 out there at the Municipal Services Building as well. It is just for the people of Lincoln. You will have to have an ID, and you'll have to be a current GFL customer in good standing. So your bill will have to be paid in full to take advantage of it. But another great thing we do to help keep the community clean, and it's just a great opportunity for us, for the residents too.
What kind of things can they bring out? What can't they bring out? How about some of that, Mr. Mayor?
So I pulled that up just in case you asked. So small amounts of construction material, cardboard, paper, aluminum cans, plastic, metals, furniture, stuff like that. What is not acceptable is hazardous waste, asbestos, car and truck batteries, trees and brush trimmings, and the electronic waste, not acceptable during that event. So really anything that you'd be doing to kind of tidy up the house and clean out the basement and the garage, just nothing hazardous.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so good opportunity, like you said, some spring cleanup time. That's we're upon that time of year, no doubt. Very good, Mr. Mayor. Anything else going on this spring you want to highlight?
Well, we've got the Route 66 Centennial, which we're working very hard to get our new museum open and ready. Continues to amaze me that the progress that's been made in there continues. Scott McCoy and Lexi Groves, the staff working in there, is doing an amazing job. So we did push our grand opening from May 1st to June 1st. We were up against the wall and we needed that extra time. And then also it's the 250th year celebration for the country. We're planning a 4th of July parade. We don't normally do that, but we're trying to partner with the Park District and some of the military organizations in town to really just kind of celebrate the 250th year we'll try to do it on a weekend where people can come out and yeah, I just hope people enjoy it.
Is there much going on we haven't talked about this much. Everything's been kind of 66 with you and I the last several months. Is there much going on in Lincoln for the 250th? Is there a group that's planning some festivities or anything like that? What are y'all working on?
I think it's in small pockets. So there are other groups doing various things. I don't have that list in front of me.
Sure.
I do know that when we started talking about the parade, other people heard about it and they've come to us and they're like, hey, we'd like to work with you on it. So we're really trying to coordinate ours with some military recognition ceremonies that same day. I know the Park District has a kids parade and they're trying to coordinate that with us as well. So that's usually how it goes here in town. When one thing happens, people start to try to work together, which I think is pretty amazing. Our barbecue festival, the Balloons Over 66, another great example. We're getting ready for that. That's a collaborative effort. This year, the Rail Splitter Festival is actually moving to the same weekend as Balloons Over 66.
Okay.
So I think that's to give people another thing to do when the balloons aren't flying. It also gives some exposure to the Rail Splitter Festival. Then there's Up in Smoke on the square, the barbecue festival, the dock dogs, the balloons, the entertainment. So yeah, a lot going on. It's going to be a really exciting summer.
It really is. Yeah, definitely. That Third Friday event as well. I know we'll hit on that here in a little bit. That's starting up in May. Sure. So, well, Mr. Mayor, I look at the clock. I'll tell you what. Let's break, and when we come back, we'll dive into the latest with the Route 66 stuff, the economic development area, as well as the museum. But in the meantime, where do folks go with keeping up all things Lincoln, Illinois? Where do they go? How do they find you?
Yeah, they can go to lincolnil.gov, and then you can find us on our Facebook page. Usually the stuff we put out is on both of those simultaneously.
Okay, very good. Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch, my guest on the Zoom here this morning. More to come with the mayor on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW. Your support.
Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn, beans, and Chicago wheat all lower. May corn, 445.5 down 3. July corn down 4, 453 3/4. New crop December, 473.5 down 3 1/4. May beans, 1157 3/4 down 6. July beans down 6.5, 1174, and November new crop 1150 down 6. May Chicago wheat 586 1/4 down 12 1/4. May KC wheat down 11.5, 631 1/4. May bean meal up 90 cents, 333.60. May bean oil down to $1.65, 67.68. Livestock trade April feeders 373.37 up 30 cents. April live cattle unchanged 250.30. May lean hogs 93.60 down 45 cents. Energy market June Brent crude oil 88.08 down 11.31.
Here's Hart Media Group owner Matt Hart talking about the Hart Media Group's continued commitment to local news, sports, and agriculture.
And at the end of the day, we're going to cover your local news. We're going to be dedicated to agriculture. Ag is such a huge part of our industry. We're obviously, if you're tuning in the radio, you know that. You're going to see that in our news, but then you're also going to see that local sports coverage as well as the local news coverage as well.
Find WHOW 1520 on Facebook, Instagram, and on TikTok.
Paul Scourin here, CEO of Warner Hospital. Spring allergies acting up? At Warner Hospital and Health Services, we offer fast treatment to help you breathe easier and feel better fast. Quality care right here, right now. Click on our icon on DeWittDailyNews.com.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch on the Zoom with us here this morning. All right, Mr. Mayor, let's dive into it. Route 66, the celebration. I know you're opening up a museum. There's also kind of an economic development incubator in the same building. Where do we start? What's the latest with some of this planning and such?
Yeah, I'll start with the museum because it kind of bleeds into economic development. So if you've listened to one of our interviews in the past, we bought a old bank building here in Lincoln. The idea is to turn it into a world-class museum for Route 66. We were lucky enough to work through the Logan County Tourism Bureau to get a grant of approximately $411,000, which is going towards the creation of that. Real quick rundown inside, you'll see things like a train exhibit, which is a pretty popular one. You'll see some history of Lincoln by way of like Al Capone, Coonhound Johnny. We're taking advantage of the fact that we have a bank building and a vault in there. You'll get some insight into how the American Giants are created and some views from our phone booth on City Hall. Just a really cool group of exhibits. So working hard on that, coming right along. But to that point, we've always looked at the museum as a segue into economic development and a way to help drive it. So we just don't want people to come in, go to a museum, take some photos and leave. We want them to stop in, get out of their car, walk around downtown, patronize some of our shops, eat a meal, and see what Lincoln has to offer. We'd love to have you stay overnight in one of the hotels. There's a lot to see here in town between our program and the county's program. So really, that's what we're trying to do. And we've had a lot of interest in local businesses that say, hey, how can I become a part of what you guys are trying to do over there? And so it's really exciting. We didn't really expect this outpour, but just really, really cool stuff.
What is beyond just the museum and the economic development incubator that you're developing there in Lincoln, Mr. Mayor? What else are you targeting for Route 66 and celebrating that milestone this year?
Well, I do have to say that the museum itself, it's a really big feat that we're trying to pull off. We had less than a year to do what would probably take 2 to 3 years to get done. I know Mr. McCoy's in there every night until almost midnight right now, but we're getting like a 12-foot copper penny, which people are already excited about. They're talking about it'll complement that donut that is in town. One of the things we are trying to do, we're talking about moving the world's largest covered wagon to the downtown area so that you see that when you come in on Route 66. The mill, if you know anything about the mill here in town, the history of it, it used to have a spinning blade on the front and it was lit up. They've taken some of that grant money and they've restored that. So it should be spinning and lit up here soon. It's a really cool museum that people should go into too. A lot of work and effort's gone into that. They're also launching a really cool program to highlight all of the communities within Logan County, things that you may not know about. So a lot of people are putting a lot of energy into really putting our best foot forward. We've done a lot of stuff that, spruce up the depot and the weight station. We're putting a lot of energy into that to make sure people who come into that avenue that they're getting a good experience. So, we got a lot of plates spinning, I guess is a good way to put it.
Sure. Very good. Very good. Anything else on that, Mr. Mayor, we haven't touched on, or anything new that we didn't get to you want to put out there for us today?
No, I didn't really go into a lot about the incubator, but we're working on the incubator space. The idea is to have a place where people can test the waters with a new business, come in. We've got affordable rooms where people can rent those out for a minimal cost, considering you get a secured area, you get printing services, free internet with it, conference rooms. It's like a really affordable way to start up a business. So we're really excited about that. and we're working on that as well.
Very good. Very good. Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch on the Zoom with us as we get set to wrap things up with him. Mr. Mayor, I know there was a proposal for a gas surcharge with the GFL, your Green for Life garbage folks. Tell me about this. What was going on there?
Yeah, given the things that are going on in the world right now and the cost of oil going up and the cost of diesel and fuel, as we all know, we're paying more at the pump right now. GFL came to us and said they're paying more at the pump as well to provide that service. And part of our contract with them affords them the opportunity to at least go to the council and request an increase in the rates or charges. And they did come recently and they asked us if we would be in favor of allowing them to do a temporary fee for a fuel surcharge on our residents' bills. It was talked about in depth. We got a lot of feedback from the community that said no, they believe that the elected officials should hold GFL to the contract. And the council voted to not allow that surcharge on residents' bills. Mm-hmm. It's not to say that they may not come back to us at a later point in time. They certainly can do that again, but contract renewals are going to be coming up, and we're likely going out for bid to just make sure that the rates are competitive on that. More to come on that one, but that's what happened with that.
Gotcha. Very good. To that end, when do you go back out for bid on that?
I think it's about 7 months we have before we get into that.
Okay, so towards the end of the year then.
Yeah, we'll be tackling that one towards the end of this year.
Gotcha. Mr. Mayor, we didn't even get into Third Fridays that kick off next month. Very quickly, I know we'll have you on the third Friday of May, but do you want to? I've got 10, 15 seconds. You want to give a quick plug for that first third Friday?
Yep, Third Fridays, May 15th, downtown Lincoln. Theme is American Heroes Night. If you know anything about it, you'll know that it's a fun evening. If not, come out and see what it's all about. We'd love to have you.
Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch, my guest on the Zoom this morning. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. Brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Network News is now.
WHOW.